Hi, Adam! And for anyone else who might be watching, my best friend abandoned me in Indiana for Georgia for his big kid job. So we decided to pull a sort of Vlogbrothers / Alex Day and read #1 New York Times Bestseller, 50 Shades of Grey, which is a decision that will probably haunt me for the rest of my life. So without further ado, Chapter 1. And if you don't know what 50 Shades of Grey is, I can't help you. Wikipedia it. Now back to Chapter 1. We start out with, and I kid you not, a hair-brushing narrative. The narrator, Anastasia Steele, so romance novel, is talking about her unruly mane. And it's worse than the time that Bella narrated using the internet in Twilight, which this is a loose fan fiction of at this point. And so after Anastasia brushes her hair, she is complaining because her roommate has a totally inconsiderate immune system. So her roommate, Catherine Kavanaugh, gotta love the alliteration, is sick, so now Anastasia has to go interview the enigmatic CEO of Grey Enterprises Holdings Incorporated for their college newspaper, because this guy is apparently a huge financial benefactor of the school, and he's going to be giving out the diplomas at their graduation ceremony, which is usually the president's job. Not like Barack Obama's job, like the president of each respective college. But whatever. Whatever makes your erotica work. And Anastasia says, I know nothing about him. Which is her own damn fault. Use the Google machine, Anastasia. And Kate says, the questions will see you through, which is completely unjournalistic. You're supposed to know what you're doing before you do it. I thought this was common sense. Whatever. So Anastasia narrates her trip to the office building, and it's really uninteresting. And she gets there, and it's still uninteresting because she's just totally self-deprecating, and she hates herself because everyone who works there is blonde and gorgeous, and social constructions of beauty teach us that only blonde people are pretty. So by comparison, Anastasia, who is a brunette, is not pretty, and this makes her feel terrible about herself. But it's fine, because through all of this, low self-esteem, we get to what is probably my favorite beginning of a sentence so far in this book, when she goes to the elevator and says, the elevator whisks me at terminal velocity, which is cool, right? Because I thought we were reading erotica. Come to find out, I get elevator science too. It's great. I'm feeling better about this book with every turn of the page, with every terminal velocity trip. I'm enjoying myself more. And while that's happening, we learn a little more about Anastasia through her inner monologue. She's talking about herself, and she says, to be honest, I prefer my own company, reading a classic British novel. Which is so fucking cliche. Like, don't get me wrong. I like a classic British novel as much as the next English major. But being able to read Jane Eyre does not make you a super special snowflake. So I'm really not interested in your cliche romantic heroines. But, whatever. So we learn a little more about her super special snowflakeness, and I don't care. And she's sitting outside of Christian Grey's office, waiting for the interview, when the office door opens and a tall, elegantly dressed, attractive African-American man with short dreads exits. That description is totally unnecessary unless this guy's going to be essential to the plot, which I really hope he is now, because otherwise it just makes me think that E.L. James is sitting there going, man, I have a Twilight fanfiction here, BDSM erotica, the whole thing. What is this missing? Token black guy. So I really hope the tall, elegantly dressed, attractive African-American man with short dreads makes a reappearance, because otherwise I have all this useless information in my head now. But that's okay, because once he's gone, my next favorite part that might rival the terminal velocity elevator happens. I push open the door and stumble through, tripping over my own feet and falling headfirst into the office. Because she's a moron. Double crap, me and my 2 left feet. I am on my hands and knees in the doorway to Mr. Gray's office. Foreshadowing, undoubtedly. And gentle hands are around me, helping me to stand. I am so embarrassed. Damn my clumsiness. I have to steel myself to glance up. Holy cow, he's so young. I mean, of course he's young. Like, we know this because nobody wants to read about old, unattractive people falling in love because it's gross. I don't know. But he is, in fact, so attractive and young that it takes a moment for me to find my voice, which is so Bella Swan of you, because Bella can never find her lips or her voice or her lungs. Whatever. So they go through some niceties, and it's really inconsequential. So finally Anastasia gets to the questions, and immediately she's totally unprofessional. Because he talks about how he built up his business for like a paragraph and blah blah blah. And she says, maybe you're just lucky. And then, not even like a paragraph later, she says, you sound like a control freak. And it just makes me really glad that Anastasia is not actually on the newspaper staff, because she would just insult everybody. But then here's the clincher. Like, here's what really embarrasses her. She asks, are you gay, Mr. Gray? He inhales sharply, and I cringe, mortified. Crap. Why didn't I employ some kind of filter before I read this straight out? How can I tell him I'm just reading the questions? Damn Kate and her curiosity. No, Anastasia, I'm not. He raises his eyebrows, a cool gleam in his eyes. He does not look pleased. Which is interesting, because he wasn't all that offended when she said maybe you're just lucky, or accused him of being a control freak. In fact, he was more surprised and amused by those questions. So I really appreciate the undercurrents of homophobia in this book. I can't wait to read more. Whatever. So then, blah blah blah, more uninteresting things. And Christian Grey tells our heroine, we run an excellent internship program here. Oh, I'll bear that in mind, I murmur, confounded, though I'm not sure I'd fit in here. Why do you say that? It's obvious, isn't it? And her inner monologue is going, I'm uncoordinated, scruffy, and I'm not blonde. The latter of which you can buy in a bottle, so relax, Anastasia, with your self-loathing ways. And yeah, you are uncoordinated and scruffy, and you're also kind of an idiot. But, I mean, I guess that's besides the point, because apparently Christian Grey is totally enamored by her incompetence, because considering what we know about this book, these two are going to fuck in, like, a gratuitous fashion or something. So, you know, he's obviously a little turned on by her utter stupidity, which is ridiculous, because it's equivalent to telling girls, be stupid so boys will like you, or at least act stupid and boys will like you, which is totally not hot. Nothing erotic about this first chapter. To be honest with you, when I opened this, I thought maybe they would, like, get it on his desk or something. Because it's erotica, and I just expect it. But so far, it's just super awkward and totally boring, and which sucks because we got 2 more books after this, and we're only into chapter 1 of book 1. And this shit goes on for 514 pages, which makes me wonder how often she's gonna, like, brush her hair, and how often we're gonna, like, get unnecessary descriptions, and how many more blonde people are gonna show up, and my god, the possibilities are endless. I'm so excited to keep reading this. But I think I'll leave chapter 2 to Adam, and until next time, I guess, because I totally want to find out why there's a tie on the cover of this. I feel like it's kinky, but so far chapter 1 was not, so I'm wondering when we're getting to the sex. But until next time.